So what else has been going on with you? Anything new, exciting, or?
No, not really. Just I've been working a lot. I don't know if you I'm sure I've posted before, but I'm a hairstylist and I
Mhm.
specialize in weddings and stuff like that. So wedding season is in full swing.
Nice.
So weddings every day and
Mm,
just super busy and
yeah,
trying to get through it.
yeah, I feel you. So it's October, so any Halloween themed weddings at all you're doing?
No, surprisingly, I don't know what it is around here, but no, there hasn't been any that I've been. I actually did a wedding not that long ago where the bride, she was pretty into horror movies and stuff like that, but her wedding
Mhm.
wasn't anything, had no influence, like horror movie influence,
Hmm.
no Halloween influence,
Hmm.
which was kind of a bummer, but
Yeah.
uh yeah, but we had a
Yeah,
lot to talk about, so which was great.
yeah, that's good. Well, so you think someone in that much into it would have some kind of theme? Like our wedding wasn't horror themed, but we had a lot of black and hot pink and a lot of darker tones and stuff. Kind of going towards that sense of horror kind of Halloween stuff. But yeah,
Totally, yeah.
yeah.
Same here. My wedding was had a lot of dark. I was determined to wear a black dress. My mom wasn't having it, so I ended up
Oh,
in a white one.
oh
But I
well.
did incorporate a little black in my veil, and then I did change up my hair for the reception. I had a little kitchen knife, like Halloween knife hair clip
Nice.
that I put in my hair. Everybody loved
Very
it.
cool.
It was
Very
very
cool.
me, so it worked out
Yes,
really well.
definitely. You should have walked down the aisle with a Freddy glove underneath your flowers
Oh
and
my,
like pulled it out.
don't think I didn't think of something like that. It was I kept telling my husband, I was like, I'm gonna walk down the aisle to the Halloween theme song. Like
Oh my
that's it.
God.
I'm gonna do it.
That'd have
Like,
been,
and I think everybody will love it. And I got trumped on that,
oh
but
man.
it was still good. Yeah.
Okay, when you get remarried, when you like, would you like do like the renewing your vows, like you
Yeah,
need to do all that. Like say, all right, we had the
exactly.
nice one, the white one, the light one. Now it's time to get down to horror business,
It's gonna be a
So,
whole mashup of all
yeah,
kinds of horror theme songs.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do something. Probably for our first anniversary, we're gonna have a little party, and I think I'm gonna do it just full on like it's not during February, so it'll be more like horror themed than Halloween themed, but we'll definitely have a lot of horror stuff going on. So yeah,
Yeah, that would be great. How's
it's gonna be
married
fun.
life?
It's great. It is great. It's funny. I don't say this to say it's bad, but like we've been married for almost a year now. We've been maybe a year in February, but it feels like we've been married forever. But it's like a
Yeah.
good thing, Like this is what I've always wanted. So it's great. So how about you guys? Everything going good?
I'm good. Yeah, like I've been with my husband for 14 years and we just got married. We've
Yeah,
been married for 7 months. But so nothing really is different. But
yeah. Just legal
uh
paper, right?
totally, yeah. And but no, it's been great so far. I have no
Well,
complaints.
good.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, I guess we'll just get right into this. Welcome to I am Wes. To my left or right, we talked about this last episode. I want to know which way this goes because I mirror my thing. But whichever way you're looking, to my left or right is Adriana, HorrorNerd143 on Instagram. Uh, one of my good friends. Like we've known each other for a long time, right? Like three to
Yeah,
four
it's been a
years.
while. I was just thinking about that. It's been a long
Yeah.
time.
Seriously, but you've been just a great friend and always there for me and just always supporting me and I really can't tell you how much I appreciate that and how much I appreciate you. So like I got to have you on the show just to chat about some horror and especially the theme over I guess you can see the theme here is Nightmare on Elm Street. We're
Yes.
both big fans. So um, let's just start off. I want to find out why is Freddy or A Nightmare on Elm Street? Why is that your favorite? I know we talked about this like a long time ago, but refresh me and tell everyone watching what got you into Freddy.
A lot of people ask me that, and I, I remember watching Nightmare on Elm Street when I was a kid. My grandpa was super into horror movies, and
Mm,
my mom always asked, like, she has no idea where I get the love for horror from, and I'm like, from your father. But he loved them so much, and he used to play them all the time, and he would play Texas Chainsaw Massacre all the time, which
So
is
good.
they're from Texas, so it's a beloved movie. But
Mhm.
I remember watching A Nightmare on Elm Street when we were visiting them in Texas, and I think the idea of getting attacked in your dreams has just always kind of stayed with me. Like it's like a crazy, like there's no running from it. Like
Seriously.
it just kind of is what it is. And I just
Hmm.
thought he was always super endearing,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
funny, super like I'm like this is terrifying but hilarious at the same time. He just has that personality, and I'm pretty sure I saw that when I was maybe like 5 or 6, and I just fell in love with the guy. I don't know what to say.
That's young though.
Yeah.
Wow. So was it accidental or was it on purpose or?
Oh, totally accident. I think if
Oh,
my mom would have walked in, she would have totally snatched me up and been like, "No, this isn't for you." But
totally. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
she embraces it now, totally for
Well,
me. But
good. Yeah. But so you're a little
yeah,
older now, so I guess you can handle it, right?
right. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, okay, so all right, another question in going to that, you said it's, from a young age and even all the films were funny but terrifying. Going from the first Nightmare on Elm Street to even to three, I know two was kind of a little more serious too. But going from one to three, do you think that the Freddy in the first one, do you think he was funny at all, or was he one of those terrifying icons that everyone looks towards?
I totally think he was more terrifying. That he had his, I feel like, his funny moments when he's in the beginning when he's chasing Tina and his arms kind of stretch. It's a
Mm.
little like comical, and the slicing off of his fingers and stuff. It's a little like, oh shit, but like,
Yeah.
it's like okay. Um, but it definitely got funnier as the franchise grew, and
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say that I'm a huge fan of the entire franchise, but that's my boy, and I love him.
True, true. Um, yeah, it's funny to go from you watch that first scene with he and Tina in the boiler room, and he it's so menacing. And also when the first time he sees Nancy and they get into it in the boiler room, and he seems very serious and he's
Oh
real, just
yes,
really scary. But then going from that until Freddy's dead. And the scene where the tornado picks the house up and he's outside on the broom and he's, "I'll get you, my pretty," when he says, "In your little dreams too," I can't remember what the
yes,
line of this, but like it's just crazy to know if they go that far, but that he's still the same old Freddy, like the whole
totally,
time.
yeah,
England is amazing. The guy can never go wrong.
yeah.
Um,
And I
yeah.
think that's why, like, I aside from the very first one, New Nightmare
Mm.
is my jam,
Yes.
because I think it just takes Freddy to like a whole, like I like him more serious. I like him
Mhm.
more terrifying, And I think New
Yep.
Nightmare definitely does that. It takes it to a whole new level that, it's really scary.
Hmm. I mean, that movie in itself is, I love Scream. Uh, it's a very meta movie, and I love meta. I love,
Yes.
looking back and being nostalgic, and that definitely is what I'm all about with horror, and that's my favorite. We actually just watched, have you seen Totally Killer yet?
I haven't yet. No.
Oh, so good.
Is it
So that
good?
that's I won't give anything away, but it's a meta movie in its own way. Um, but I love the fact of how um, New Nightmare was really the first meta film in horror that really, I know people want to say Friday the 13th Part 6. I'm not sure which came first. I think
Mm,
Part 6 came first, I think. That
yeah.
was kind of meta because it kind of poked fun in itself, but it was more of like making fun of just its own genre. But like things like New Nightmare kind of took it to the next level and was going, okay, we're looking back on this, but also we have to respect the past, in order to
Exactly.
survive the future, So like that was brilliant in itself. But then of course Scream came along, and of course Wes Craven is all involved in this.
Yes.
Brain of
He
West was just like, love it.
which he was
Um,
super excited for. I read Wes Craven's one of his little autobiographies, and he talks
mm,
a lot about how excited he was to do New Nightmare because he felt like it was just bringing things back to like
mhm.
the real kind of core of what A Nightmare on Elm Street was about, and
Yes, yes.
his little cameo in it is a plus too. So
It's
it's
perfect.
great.
Yeah, and I love the fact that the painting in that movie, that Robert's painting. I want that so bad. Oh my
There's
God.
just so much. There's such good, so much good in that movie. I
Mhm.
really feel like it's super underrated. Honestly, like it doesn't get
Oh, it
talked about
is.
enough. You know?
I
Yeah.
fully agree. I mean, it gets glossed over for the fact that it's not really Freddy, or it's not really what the storyline's about, and we're like,
Yeah.
take a step back. Where
Yeah.
it was going, we're all in this franchise. Take a step back and look at it as a broad stroke, and like you said, the story that Wes tells about how he came up with the character of Freddy. He was at home with his brother, I think it was,
Right.
and he was looking outside, and he saw a man walking by the street light. And he looked up, and his face was all burnt and weird,
Burn.
and
Yeah.
yeah, like that, taking that and really making it into something like Freddy Krueger, like it takes brilliance, and he had it throughout his entire body.
Amazing
So
guy.
yeah,
Amazing guy.
totally. I'm so mad I didn't get to meet him. Did you ever get to meet Wes?
I did actually,
Mm,
yeah. At a convention, it
oh,
was years ago. It was before I had a chance to meet Robert Englund actually, um,
mm,
maybe a few years before that. But it was, oh my god, it was one of those moments where I lost the ability to speak. I didn't have any words,
oh,
and
gosh,
but it was amazing. One of the probably highlights of my life, honestly. Like
so see,
he was just great. One of my like
yeah,
he's just a great director. I love, like, one of my other favorites of his is The Last House on the Left. So
mm,
I'm just a super big Wes Craven fan. Yeah.
heck yeah, he is just amazing. Like I said, I think I had the chance to meet him at one point. Before I was like so deep into horror. I was always into horror, but I kind of had to squashed that part of my life for a long time, and
Mm.
there was a chance to go meet him at a convention somewhere, and he was here in Nashville, and I didn't go, and of course at the time I wasn't really worried about it, but later on I was like, man, I just could have just gone and just done it and just
It's one of
everybody
those
else, but
things. Yeah.
yeah, but I still get to see little bits of him and all his movies and what people talk about, and but back to Freddie though. Going through that franchise, like you said, the whole franchise is not the greatest. I think I don't know if we can all agree on Dream Child. That was a very, very rough one for me.
Yeah. Hmm.
It had some good parts, but at the same point, it was just really like it was forced, and it was kind of easy in a bad way, not a good way. But I mean,
Yeah.
there's always those movies like that. So, what do you think
The
about
writing
five?
yeah, it was just confusing. It didn't make
Mm,
too much sense, and so it is one of those that's kind of cringy to watch, honestly.
mm,
But
yeah,
it's part of the franchise, so I'll watch it here and there, uh,
true,
just because I'm
true,
a fan. But
true,
that's about it.
true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like going to Scream again, going with part five. Look, the part fives are just weird, but you know,
I'm glad you think so.
yes, definitely part five. No, I'm a fan of Friday the 13th Part Five. I'm one of those odd people out on that one. I mean, it was weird. I
Yeah.
will definitely agree with you. It was not the norm. It was not normal at all to have not have Grayson so heavily involved. Uh,
Right.
but I still and like I'm a fan of Halloween 3 as well, so it's also explains that too. So um, but what do you think of Halloween Part 3, by the way?
I don't hate it.
No,
I
you
think if
just
you
not your
take
favorite.
out, if you if you take out, I think if it wasn't part of the franchise, if it wasn't, if we weren't, I think if we weren't already in love with Michael Myers, I think it would work pretty well on its own. I think there's a
True.
lot of movies like that, that are part of franchises, and if they stood alone, would work really well. Like Halloween Ends would probably
Mm,
have been. Don't
true.
even get me started, but um,
We can though later on. We may pull
yeah,
back around to
no,
that.
we
Who knows?
should. We should,
Yeah.
because I find my opinion is very different from other people's. So I feel like we might be on the same page with that one.
I think we're gonna be fully in agreement. I was actually having a conversation with John, New England Home before, but this morning
Oh,
about
right.
Halloween ends. So we'll
Oh,
yeah we'll pull
yeah.
back around at the end. We'll kind of get our thoughts out about that. So um, that's
Yeah,
good.
but I think as a standalone film, Halloween 3 it's good. I
Yeah.
don't I can't say that I'll like pop it on, when I'm in the mood for a movie, but if
Right.
it's on
Right.
TV, I'll totally watch it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
See, I will just pop it on to watch it, but that's just
Yeah,
again, that's
I
just me
bet.
being weird. But I'm weird like that. I'll pop on the strangest movies too, but it's I'm old and it's when you get old,
Yeah.
you kind of forget what you like, and you just go, oh, I think I like this, and you pop it in. Oh yeah, yeah, that's
Oh
nice.
yeah, we all have that guilty pleasure movie. We all have those ones. I talk about it all the time. Like one of my I put on Jason Goes to Hell all the time.
Ooh, that's a
I don't
rough
know
one.
I
Ooh,
don't know what it is about that movie that is just like one of those things that I'll sit and I'll enjoy watching it. And I can't even tell you why.
I don't know why either. Wow,
I know
that's okay.
I
Well, I
know it's
mean,
rough. I know.
uh, you and a few of the people I know, maybe very few people like that movie. I like it for the action and what happens in the movie, but like as the storyline goes, I'm just like, I don't get it.
Oh,
Maybe I
it's
just don't get it. Maybe
terrible.
that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no, it's
oh,
terrible. It's terrible.
uh,
100%. I just I don't know what it is.
one of those things, I guess. It is so crazy how horror fans are so quirky in the movies that they like and the stuff that they
Yes,
like. Oh, you almost will never find two horror fans that are identical. You'll find a lot of similarities or a lot of differences, but it's like the intricacies are so just interwoven in who they are, and trying to find two they're exactly the same carbon copies is impossible. Never happened.
totally. I realized that honestly when I started the Instagram page, like how similar but how super different people's
Mm-mm.
kind of idea of what good horror is, and
True,
people
true.
people like different things, so
Mhm.
there's always a lot of opinions and a lot of
Yeah.
ideas and different ideas.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, and I can't stand it when people gatekeep and they go,
oh,
oh, I like this movie more than they do, or you can't like this movie because it sucks that bad. I'm like, listen, we're gonna like what we like, and it's okay. And that's what Harvard's discussion, you get into it, you talk about it, and sometimes you change your mind, sometimes you just rather solidify the way you feel, but at the end of the day, it's all good. So,
yeah, for me, it's all about discussion. Like I don't really have a lot of people in my life that I can talk about horror movies with. Not, I don't really know anybody that likes in my real life that likes horror movies as much as I do. So even debating something or talking about anything that has to do with horror movies is fun to me. So
true, true.
um,
Yeah.
whether we agree or disagree,
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, when you don't have a lot of people to talk about it with, Instagram is a place you can go. Literally, the horror community is so huge and so diverse that you can find somebody just to either have a opposite discussion or just to chat about your favorite movie together and just kind of reminisce about what you like about it. So, yeah.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah. And that's what's so great about this podcast too. I started it to talk to everyone in the horror community, and then I've so far hit up, already my sixth victim. So, yeah, I'm just really, really happy to just get on here and chat with my friends and just talk about horror and kick back and not to worry about you know um, being called out on stuff or what I'm saying,
right.
just all that the drama that goes along with it.
The
It's just a free
politics
free
of social media, yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, it seems like when it gets deep in the horror community, it really goes deep. So um,
I'm like, I'm just here to have fun. Like, I don't,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah, I got involved a long time ago, and I'm just like, I came back. I'm like, you know what? Not enough time. Let's just have fun and
yeah,
just kill it. So yeah.
as you
But
should.
yeah, exactly. So how many times have you met Robert England before?
I've only met Robert England once.
So how was that though?
It was amazing.
I bet.
Um, it it was everything I thought it was going to be and more. I was so excited. I met him. Oh, I can't even tell you what year it was. I don't remember. It was when The Walking Dead was pretty big and popular. It might have been around
Mm.
like the fourth or fifth season. I'm not sure. They used to have those Walker Stalker cons.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They came to San Francisco, and I had my birthday was coming up, and they were gonna be here on my birthday, and I
Mm.
saw that he was on the roster, and I was like, oh man, like like I
Hmm.
swear, like all I think like 2 months, I was like totally like looking forward to it and everything, and then like a lot of the cast was from A Nightmare on Elm. She was gonna be there too,
Oh
so
man, that's so cool.
yeah, so but I was determined to meet him. I was like, I'm gonna, and then the line was huge to meet him. So I waited in that line. I wore my Freddy sweater.
Yeah.
And got up there again. The no words. I forgot how to speak, but I quickly learned how, and then just told him how much I loved him and how much I loved his movies. And
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of people don't under maybe don't understand how much a movie or a person can affect you, or like I
Mhm.
felt like I just honestly, like, A Nightmare on Elm Street is more than just a movie to me. It's a way to, like, kind of escape my life.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
I don't think I'm happier until, like, if I'm sad, I'll pop the movie on. It brings me that much joy. And I remember telling him that, and he was just so appreciative of it, and then totally posed for the picture. And he had
Yeah.
the glove on his hand, and like, he went to kind of hold my face in the picture, and it was the best.
You're like,
I had such a
oh,
good time. I was so, like, so happy. And then I remember, like, posting it on to my Facebook at the time. And I have an uncle who's, like, super into horror movies, and he was just like, "Oh, I can't believe that happened." I was like, "I know," like,
that's
it
so
was
cool.
great. I did. He was at Monster Palooza, I believe, this year, and I it just fell on the weekend of my best friend's bachelorette party, so I wasn't able to go. But
Yeah.
man, that
Yeah.
was a hard one to miss.
Yeah, I know. I was going to meet him like 3 years ago at Steel City Con, and that's when COVID hit, and
Oh
yeah, it
yeah,
was. But I'm going to meet him. Like
you
that is
will.
going to
Yes,
happen. I've
yes.
got to. My glove is just waiting to be signed by him. Like it's just like I look at it's right by my bed. It's like they say it's on my stand next to my bed. So I see it every morning, and it talks to me. It says, "Wes, get me
Get it.
signed."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, I'm going to. They're pushing me, but
Yeah, I mean, he still does a ton of appearances, so hopefully
it
I get to
does.
meet him again too. But I have hope for you. It's gonna happen. I promise.
Thank you. Just all the positive vibes you can.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
I cannot
love
wait to
it.
meet him. But you're right. I'll probably end up walking up and going, "You're
It's
Freddie,"
like,
you know?
I don't know what kind of phenomenon happen, like, what it is with that, like, meeting people, like, people you idolize, and just, like,
Mm,
losing your ability to say a word is crazy.
seriously.
But
Well,
it's like, what do you
when I,
say?
I know. Yeah, you go through this. When you go through it before you get up there, I'm gonna say this and this and this and this and this and
Right.
this, and you get up here and you go, I don't
Uh,
know what my brain isn't working.
right.
Like
Yeah,
when I met
it's
Nev
crazy.
for the first time, I froze at first. Like it was
Yeah.
that split second when it was like just me and her. I was like, speak, just say something, anything. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what it is. And I go, hey, I love your movies. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. And then once she spoke back, I was like, okay, I'm good now. But like, I was so
Yeah.
afraid she's gonna be like staring, going, who the hell are you and why are you
Right.
staring at me? But
It is easier when they say words back to you, which is great. It
yes.
it helps a lot.
Because that is nerve-wracking. I'm sure they know that too. I'm sure they know that, especially in people in the horror community. A lot of us have issues with being forthright, and we're more on the loser side of things. You want to say, the losers club, and we're
Right.
looking on the downtrodden, and we're the underdog, and that's why we all stay together, because we all
Ex-
support each other. So I think they know that, and I think a true horror actor will understand that and be like, listen, I got to go in here, and I got to be supportive of the people that are supporting me, and I've,
Exactly.
I have yet to meet anyone that has been rude or mean or condescending or anything. So I have nothing even people that I've heard in the past were like that, never treated me like that. So I'm like, I
Yeah.
love this community. So yeah.
No, I agree. At that same con, I met Andrew Lincoln, who I was, like, in love with at that time, because The
Hmm.
Walking Dead was, like, everything to me back then. But
He's hot.
and that was great. Like, I was just like, I don't think I've had a meet where it was, like, not a good experience. So
Yeah,
I hope I
yeah.
never do. So
It's true, true, yeah, true. When
yeah,
when I met Matthew Lillard too, like that changed my life. Like that guy, have you met him before?
I haven't. I'm so jealous.
Oh my God, you've
Yeah.
got to. I can't even describe it really. He was just so, well, and nice isn't even the word. Like it was like you're meeting your best friend, like you haven't seen in a while. He was like, hey
Well,
buddy,
yeah.
how's it going, man? And gave me a hug, and like I had my little buddy ghost face and everything. And I was like, hey man, could you take a picture? He's like, yeah, man, of course. Let's get this little guy in here, and
Yeah.
the coolest guy ever. So
God, that's so awesome. Yeah.
I know.
I think that those are my next people to try and meet, is the Screamcast for sure.
Definitely, you have to. 'Cause they're actually making a tour right now around the country. So yeah, when they come near you, jump on that
Oh
because it's
yeah, yeah. I gotta look into that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
I know
dying.
I was looking at Lee's stuff. He was posting about where they're going, and they're going more around the southeast for the moment. But he's like, this is just a start. 2024, we have a lot more stuff going on, so it looks like they're going to be traveling all around the country. So
Oh,
yeah,
good. Yeah, yeah.
so
That'd
definitely
be
check into
something
that.
I for sure want to do.
Yeah, yeah. I want to meet him because I want to get him to sign my tattoo, and I want to get it tattooed on my arm too. So that'd be kind of cool. So
Yeah,
that's me. Oh, so anyway, but I can talk about that forever. Um,
yeah.
but you know, and like I said, I know you're a huge West fan. You're a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan. Uh, it's all of Wes's films, but let's go in a different direction. So, n- excluding Wes Craven films, what is your next favorite film outside of all of his films?
Outside of West Korea, probably Halloween. And I
There you
know,
go.
yeah, I got Michael Myers on me right now. But
Hmm. I have what do you mean?
there you go. I see. I was gonna wear my nightrobe, but I was like, maybe that's too obvious. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think it's cool that you have in the background, but you have that's perfect. So
Yeah,
it
no,
actually works really
he's
good.
always watching. I got Nancy
Always,
always watching at me.
always.
Yeah, it probably has to be Halloween, honestly. Like I that's probably my next super favorite movie. I like every time they screen it in the movie theaters, I'll go watch it. Same with Nightmare on Elm Street. It's like one of those that I'll pop on anytime and just it's super enjoyable for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah.
So which one is your favorite out of the franchise?
Ooh. I think the original for sure, but
Hmm.
I take a lot of enjoyment out of H2O.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I like I said, I'm not a huge Michael fan, but that one for some reason has a the feel of that movie just it feels like Halloween, it feels like fall, it kind of sucks
Yes.
you in. So I totally
Yeah,
agree with that.
I always I always thought that that would have been like a good kind of a good sequel. I mean, I do like Halloween 2 a lot, but I always
Hmm.
felt like that would have been a great sequel to have. Even, it being 20 years later or whatever. It's just there's something about it that I really like. I mean, Laurie's a badass. Like I that's one of my dreams
Totally.
too. Like I want to meet Jamie Lee Curtis so bad
Yes.
and I
I've
will
heard
make
she's
it happen.
amazing.
Oh, I
Yeah, she's
fucking love her so
amazing.
much. But
Yeah.
she's just, her the evolution of her character and everything like just throughout the movie and her facing everything. That's like I feel like that's like bad bitch energy and that's the energy that I love
Mhm.
about the movie,
Yeah.
super powerful and just the whole yeah, I feel like Michael Myers gets more terrifying in that movie too. I think Halloween 2 and maybe 5 a little bit have that energy, but not as much as H2O for sure.
True, true.
Yeah.
We just watched Five the other day, and as much as I enjoy watching that film, I just I can't fall full head hell into it because it is the
Yeah.
whole the psychic connection they have, which is very strange to
Yeah,
me. But
it's
well,
I'm
you
like
know,
that. I don't know where they get these story ideas, honestly.
I
Like
don't
that's
either.
definitely not how I would write them, but
Yeah, when
just
Loomis is like this butchy like asshole, I'm like, you hear that a lot, but then when you watch the movie, you're like, damn, he is really just trying to fuck her up, but yelling at um, Jamie, and she's definitely distressed about this stuff, and he's just screaming at her, going, "Tell me something!" I'm like, "Oh my God, dude!" shut
right. It's like,
up."
what are you doing?
I know, because he's always just, he's very excited throughout the other ones, but he's more concerned. But it
Yes.
seems like he's concerned in five, but he seems like he's more agitated, and he's just really like, I get it. He's been through a lot with Michael Myers, but
Yeah.
at the same point, this is a little girl. Like, you can't really expect much. Anyway, I know we're getting into the intricacies of that, but I could go on that forever. But yeah, and H2O definitely is one of those films where I will just pop it on, especially during the spooky season. It fits perfectly. I'll watch it all the way through the end of December, honestly.
Oh
Um,
yeah. It's just one of my favorite parts of that movie is where she's telling the guy that she's messing around with, Lori.
hmm,
She's telling him like who she actually is and all that stuff. Like,
yes.
it's just the way that she tells it too is just like, oh, it's just so like it's delicious. I swear, like
No,
it's
you're
just
right.
great.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
And then they
it's
fucked it
just,
up with Resurrection. They like the whole story
yeah,
just lost it. But
yeah. It was
what are you gonna
when it
do?
first came out. Yeah, when it first came out, I was like, okay, I get it. Like you're trying to end off that storyline, and they did, but came right back, around. Like you can never really end Michael and Laurie. Like just we're gonna
Like
happen.
that. I
Um,
was literally just talking to my husband the other day about it because it was on TV and we were watching it. Like I just like the disrespect I feel like they had for Lori, like ending her
mhm.
story that way. Totally just was not cool to me. I hated it. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
I mean, I think they did it better in Ends, which was the little only part of the movie I liked was the end part. Um, but if you haven't watched Halloween Ends yet, it's been out for a long time, so we're going to spoil it anyway once we talk about it more. So
Right.
if you want
Yes.
to if you want to stop this and go watch it and come back, that's fine. Otherwise, you're going to hear everything about it. Um, but yeah, I think she went out in a really really horrible way in Resurrection, and um, I mean it was clever. I'll give you that. It was definitely clever,
Yeah.
and that's what they were going for. That did exactly what they were trying to get out of us and out of the movie.
Yeah.
But to the Halloween fans, and even the fans of just horror like me, I felt slighted too. So I can totally understand where you're coming from. So
Yeah. It was a rough one. It was a rough, but
yeah,
again, I mean, Resurrection is not a good movie by any means, in my opinion. But it is one of those that I'll like watch if it's on TV because I feel like it's
of
super
course,
entertaining. You know,
of course. I mean, Buster Rhymes. I mean, how can you go wrong with Buster Rhymes in a horror film? I mean, like,
I'll
trick or
yeah,
treat,
I'll take him.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I'll take him all day.
Seriously, he's probably, I mean, I know people hate on him, but he's probably the best part of that movie in my opinion because he brings something that we've never seen in a Halloween film before. So yeah,
By far, yeah, I
I was
completely
on board.
agree. Yeah.
But I mean, the people give him so much hell for that. I was like, man, leave him alone. He's Buster
he
Rhymes, you know?
he did his job. He did his job
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, he
Yeah.
did very well, very well. Um, so okay, we have to touch on it. Rob Zombie. I I I take it you're not a big fan of the Rob Zombie Halloweens. I'll just preface this by saying I love him,
I
but
know. I
again,
feel like
we
we've
we
gone back and forth about this for years.
we have, and
Yes.
I can't get enough of it. And I'm sick and twisted like that, and I'm old as shit. So that's probably why I'm just old and
Yeah.
senile, and I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And we all know I've said my piece about it. So let's hear your thoughts on. Let's start with the first one. What do you think about the first one? To lay it out there.
I'm not I honestly when it came out I was really excited to see it. I thought it would be super interesting.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I hate not that I hate it. I don't hate it. I will watch it. If it's on TV, I'll totally watch it.
Hmm.
I think the thing that I really liked about Michael Myers was the fact that we didn't really know why he did the things that he did. He kind of just did them. And I totally credit Rob Zombie for trying to give Michael Myers some kind of background and kind of let us into his life and what it was like before and all that stuff. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't know. Like I'm not a fan. Um,
I know.
you
I mean,
know,
you're not in the minority. You're in the majority here. So don't act
yeah.
like you need
Um,
to like apologize. So
everything from kind of the story before and like making him like kind of like I mean I guess he's like tall in the original, but like kind of making him like physically super like
larger than life.
stocky and huge, larger than life was like
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like the original was like, well, like this can be, almost anybody. It's a
True.
normal kind of normal guy. But
Hmm.
yeah, it just didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Um,
It took a lot of the norms from Halloween and turned them on their head and twisted it
for
around.
sure.
And
And like I'm
so
very sensitive when it comes to the OGs. I am like
true.
and I feel like I'm super protective and I just like I enjoy the OGs a lot. So,
True. True. Well,
yeah.
like with Jackie Earl Haley plays Freddie. I mean, I know I love him. I love him as an actor. He's a great actor, but he just didn't do it.
He just didn't do it. It
No.
didn't work out. I remember going to the theater to watch it and I was
Mm,
like like actually disturbed when I walked out. I was like, this is not okay. Like whoever greenlit this is not cool. Like this isn't cool. It was
true.
just
There is one part about that movie that I do like, though. We'll bring this up for a minute. I don't want to talk about the remake at all because it just doesn't need to be talked about, but I will bring up one thing. The one thing that came out of the movie that was brilliant that they need to expound upon. was the micro sleeping, the micro dreams that were
Yes.
coming through.
Yes.
You ever been driving home, and you're by yourself and you start to go, you're just kind of,
Yes.
that was a brilliant point. And they didn't really flesh it out too much, which I thought they could have made a whole movie about that, about how
Mm,
you're living half in the real world, half in the dream world. But they kind of alluded to it, but not really. And if you, I think you can write that into the film if you wanted to yourself, which I did, and it's only way I can enjoy it if I rewrite the story in my head as I'm
right.
watching. But that was brilliant, and yeah, I wish someone would pick that up and run with it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I mean, it wasn't, I think the performance of Jackie Earl Haley was not, I don't want to give it any energy, but there were totally elements of the movie that I thought, oh, this could have been really good, I feel like,
hmm
but
Yep.
it's hard to replace an icon like that.
It really
So
is. I mean, I
yeah.
mean, I felt bad for the guy because if I don't think he thought he could fill his shoes. I don't, no, I honestly don't think. I need to look at interviews, but I don't think he thought it that at
A
all.
hundred
Did you?
percent. Yeah. It's hard to even, I'm sure it was an honor to try and,
Sure.
do it, but like, no,
hmm
yeah, probably somehow he was like not thinking that those were shoes you could fill. That's a hard
Yeah,
one.
that's almost impossible because you look at all the Jasons, all the Michaels, and all the Ghostface. I mean, and there's only been like what three stuntmen actually played the actual character, but those are interchangeable and those play their own part and they have their own thing. But with
Totally.
Freddy, you have to bring the personality and you have to have that
Yes.
charisma. So if you don't have that, and like again, not to bash Jackie, but
Right.
he's just not that kind of actor.
No,
He's
not at all. Yeah.
and they're trying to make it more scary, but I'm like, the scary part is that he wants to fuck with you before he kills you. I guess that one line when he has to do hang upside down and he's like, yeah, the human brain is still active for 8 minutes
Oh,
after you.
yeah. And
And
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
now he's hitting us with facts. Like,
yeah, yeah.
we
I'm
don't
like, that's
care.
interesting. That's
Yes.
interesting, but it's not a place for the movie. It
Right.
just didn't fit very well. I was like, okay. I
Or
mean,
the part where he's like, "Why are you screaming? I haven't even cut you yet." I just
yes.
I love the line. I actually do really like the line. I just felt like the delivery was just not there. Like,
Yeah. Well,
and again,
Freddie has those ups and downs, like
yeah,
but with Jackie it was like, I haven't even touch you. Like it's all this one like
mm,
monotone, you're like, you
yes,
have to have
yeah,
inflection, man. You have to give it life.
gotta
But
change it up. Yeah, yeah,
exactly. Like I said, I'm not bashing him at all. It's just, and I'm sure that was the direction that he took, and that's what he had to
right.
deal with. So, I loved him in like The Watchmen and a few other films that he's in. But yes, so
Yes, yeah, great actor,
uh,
just not
totally,
for not for our beloved
totally,
Freddie.
exactly, exactly. Um, but yeah, all right, Scary, let's circle back to Rob Zombie's Halloween. Um, I,
Well, I
I
want to
think
know
about it a lot.
what do you love so much about it? I'm interested.
I love the fact of how I love, and I do get your point about how we didn't know what Michael what was why he did what he did. And that's what makes him so scary is that you don't know. It's almost like the strangers, these people are being
Yes,
terrorized, and at the end they go, "You were home," so
right.
that still doesn't explain anything. So it's like
Yeah.
that's what makes it so scary. But I like the way, like you said, the way Rob gave him this backstory of how he has a rough life at home. It was his mom loves him, his sister loves him, but it's like it's more of a rough love.
Mm,
And then his stepdad's a total piece of shit. But he also has mental issues, and I think as a horror
right.
fan, we are all very um, accustomed to knowing about mental issues. And again, I'm kind of honing in on the horror community because I see this a lot on Instagram. People dealing with mental issues and
Yes.
um, mental illness and just trying to get their head straight. And I say that as not to poke fun, but to kind of share who we are as a community. But he brings that kind of to the forefront, which I love that. And it's not been done very much in films where, I think Wes says it a couple times in his films, really brings it. Now he talks, he's always in the background, but never brings it so much to the forefront. But I like the way that he dabbles in that. But he also kind of says, here's this boy that, he has issues, but he doesn't get help at all. It's like everyone's kind of going, oh, just do right, do this, do that. And he's like,
Right.
I don't know what that means. He doesn't know
Right.
what
Yeah.
right and wrong really means. And then the first kill, the guy in the woods, it's just so brutal. It's so, um, you're rooting for him because the guy's a total asshole, but then by the end you're
Right.
like, oh shit, like that kid getting the shit kicked out of him,
Right. Yeah.
So it's I get this emotion that it invokes in me as I watch it. I really love the way that Rob can pull those emotions out of people uh, in the most weird and unorthodox ways. If you watch any of his films, it creates emotions that you never thought you could have, like watching House of Thousand Corpses. Like I actually like the Firefly family, and it's like here's
Mhm.
this group of absolute murdering, crazy people, but I'm like I love them, you know.
Right, right. Yeah,
um,
you do tend to have a little bit of a soft spot for them. Yeah, I can
yeah,
completely agree with
totally.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, same thing with Michael. You feel bad for him, at the same point, he is like this murdering machine.
Yeah.
So I like the way that balances because in the original Halloween films, it's more of like Michael is a bad guy and everyone else is a good guy, and you're always going against him. Of course, we've kind of created him as icon, and he's so badass, and which he is. But in Rob Zombie's version, it's like he's a little bit of both. You can have it be of both sides of him, which, like I said, is nothing that we've ever seen before. So I was like, all right,
Right.
cool, yeah, that's what I like about it. So,
Totally. Yeah. No, I can totally see those points as well. Um,
you know,
I do agree with you about Rob Zombie pulling emotions that you probably didn't know that you felt. You get a little bit of like sympathy towards these characters, even though they're like murdering people and all that stuff.
yep,
You see them as humans too, and so I can completely agree with that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, we're all part of the human race, and it's like, no matter what we do, it's like you can't deny the fact that we all have a shared connection, no matter if it's
For
good or bad.
sure. For
So it's
sure.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, he has that way about him. There's not one film he's put out that I'm just like, I think it's terrible. You always find something good in it, but I know I'll be on the minority on that, but I like it over here. It's nice. We have cookies and juice.
It wouldn't be fun if we all agreed all the time. So
True, very
yeah.
true. Um, so let's just go over Halloween ends. Let's end off this discussion with Halloween ends. Um, so as we all know, um, oh, if you haven't seen it yet, like I said, go back and watch it, but we're going to spoil it here. Halloween Ends was supposed to be the end of the trilogy that David Gordon Green put out that was supposed to wrap up the story between Michael and Laurie. It was like, Halloween 78 and then Halloween 2018 and then Halloween Kills and
Right.
Halloween Ends. So we all thought after Kills, after seeing that epic ending, where he
Yes.
was fighting the entire town almost, not the entire town, but the main characters from this town are all coming, to get him, and he kick his ass and he kicks their ass and then he goes off and you're like, oh, this is the setting was so perfect. Like
Right.
you thought, here comes the battle royale. This is gonna be the
Yeah.
most wild out Halloween film we've ever seen. And then we get this kid named Corey that tries to tries to be a Michael Myers wannabe. It literally what it was. He was like he tried to create himself as Michael Myers, and I get the whole fact. Desmond said it like a few episodes back about how it was more about how the town was getting infected with the evil that Michael Myers brought with him. Which I totally understand. That was a good point. I actually like that
Yeah.
point. Um, but then it just takes this turn. I get lost in the middle. I can't even remember the middle of the movie, honestly. It was just such a muddled mess. But then, of course, at the end, you come up with Laurie and Michael, and then and the big battle at the end, which we were all looking for the entire time.
Yeah.
So, so okay. So, saying all that, I just want to set the stage. Your thoughts on Halloween Ends?
Ugh, a shit show. To put it
Okay.
in, easy terms.
Yeah.
I remember like begging my husband to go watch it with me,
Hmm.
and I was like during the movie, I like was like actually getting upset because I'm like, what the hell is this? Like if I hear them say Evil Dies Tonight one more fucking time, I'm gonna like lose it.
Hmm.
Like I
Yep.
just to me, like I love Michael Myers. He's like an icon to me. He's like a lot of things. And to make
Yep.
him I get, I it was just making him, I guess, more human. He got old, he got weak, he,
True.
experienced
True.
a lot of stuff. But like he's fucking Michael Myers, you
Yeah.
know?
Hmm.
Like he's survived a lot of stuff, and we know on some level he's kind of superhuman a little bit. I just thought
Yeah.
I wasn't down with that idea. um
Yeah.
the whole freaking Corey thing was just ridiculous to me. I feel like kind of same with Halloween 3. Like, let's take Michael Myers out of it. Let's take Laurie out of it. If it was a movie about this kid on his own, I probably would have enjoyed it.
True,
Yeah,
true.
but it wasn't.
But like to go on with that though, even if they put Laurie into it to kind of like, like if
Yeah,
like he met with her or like they met somewhere and had a little
yeah,
confrontation, that wouldn't have been bad at all. So,
yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah. It I feel it like took me back to like Nightmare 2 when when
mm,
Freddy's kind of I just kept thinking about that and I'm like, this is not like you guys, like this is not it's just not working. And
right,
I feel like they focus way too much on Corey's like character and like story and the whole like his relationship with Laurie's granddaughter and all it's just like it just didn't work.
right.
Um but like it's like so interesting to see the reaction that people had like a lot of people really like the movie,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Maybe
it's
they
a little
love it, and I'm
baffling to
just.
me, but to each their
But
own.
well, I mean, it's one thing to love it, but it's also one thing to love it as part of the Halloween franchise and
Right,
that trilogy.
right.
That's if you want to connect those, I don't understand. Your connection doesn't make sense to me. Like
It
liking the movie
doesn't.
by itself. But still, you got to cut off like the last like what 15 minutes, the last 20 minutes, and then like kind of the
Exactly.
first part.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it
the
just doesn't
the
work.
epic battle scene at the end was great. I was
Yeah.
like, thank you for this last scene, this
Hmm.
big showdown between Laurie and Michael. It's like because without
Hmm.
that, this movie is complete crap. Like,
Oh, completely.
you
And
know?
I love the way that they put it into a kitchen too. Like it was in a house in a kitchen. Someplace we're all familiar with, someplace that it kind of all started. If you want to kind of go towards that, it was
Yeah.
a safe place, and that's where yeah, but that part was brilliant. He did a great job with that. So,
Yeah, I agree. Um,
you know,
but hmm.
but yeah, ends was
Ugh,
definitely
it was
not
definitely
the way to end up.
disappointing. Yeah.
It was, yeah, and like I said, New England Home before we were talking this morning, he said the same thing. He's like, do that, but do it apart. Like it's what you're saying, do it as a separate part. And I think people that don't like it have that same connotation or the same view
Right.
on it. There's if you take it out and make it its own thing. But yeah, it's just one of those things that we can't take back, and
Yeah,
we got to just move forward. And we're actually talking about the new Exorcist movie. Have you seen Exorcist Believer?
I have. Yeah.
So quick thoughts on that. What do you? I know no spoilers, but what do you think about that?
No spoilers. I thought it was okay. Um it was okay.
Yeah, I
I
actually liked it a lot, but
Oh, did you?
I did, I did.
Yeah.
But because it's part of a trilogy, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's what did it for me. That's what got me on the board with on board with the whole fact of what they were doing in the movie. Um, so I won't give anything spoilers away at all, but I think what they have set up here is going to be really good for later on. Kind of like we do with Halloween 2018.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I agree
So
with that. Yeah. I do hope that they, have plans for future stuff to do with it. Cause I love The Exorcist. I love everything about it.
mm,
Um,
yeah,
and I had been hoping for a really long time that they would do something new. Um, so yeah, I really do hope that they have future plans.
definitely, definitely. I'm excited to see what they have. So like I said, I really really enjoyed it. Honestly, I didn't think I'd enjoy that much, but at the end, I was
Yeah.
like, wow, I'm really, yeah, I'm impressed. So, but
Maybe
I'll no, go
I think I
ahead.
need to give it another watch with the trilogy in mind. I don't think I went into it like that, and I hadn't seen the Exorcist movies in a long time.
Hmm. Yeah, do it definitely.
Yeah, I think
Let
so.
me and let me know what you think when you watch it again. Like if you think about it, and shoot me a message. Say, hey, here's my thoughts after going into it with this lens. Watching it this time. So 'cause I'm kind of
For
curious what your
sure.
thoughts will be. Definitely. Well, cool.
Yeah, cool.
Well, I think that just about does it. I think we covered all the major points that we wanted to cover. But again, it's great seeing you. It's great talking to you. We never really talked back and forth before, so
Yeah,
really cool to face, across the country, literally. So
I know. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. No, this
it's
was
awesome.
great.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to have done it, and I appreciate you as always. And um, I'm sure there's going to be more to talk about in the future.
definitely, definitely. Oh yeah, but I'll have you bone about later on. Like all my guests are going to come back around eventually. So yeah, we'll do this all again, and we'll have some more stuff to talk about. So But I really, really appreciate you. Thank you for always sticking by me, and thank you for always supporting me. I can't thank you enough. Honestly, I always say it all the time, but you're just a great friend and a great person. So thank you, thank you, thank you again.
Of course. Same here too. You've always been amazing to me, so I appreciate you.
But I try, but anyway, so I guess that's all we're gonna talk about today. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Do you have anything you want to plug? Do you want to plug your Instagram or anything else that you're on you want to talk about?
Yeah, I post really fun posts, and Halloween's always pretty cool for me. So if you want to follow me on IG at HorrorNerd143. Um,
Cool, cool,
that's
cool.
it.
Cool. I'll link it down below so you can get right to it. So, all right. Well, thank you again. All right. We'll see you guys next time.